friends,
Hello, my
Carlos.
friend.
I'm glad to see all of you here today. And even though it was your idea, my friend, to talk about luck, so I will let you introduce your first thoughts on the
Perfect.
subject.
Okay, so first, I think that luck is a really interesting topic because I think there are two main theories in life. I don't know who has proposed these theories. It's almost more a supposition, but I think that luck, and things are divided into two ways. So the first one is a perspective in which people think that they don't control any aspect of their life. So that you can do, for example, incredible efforts to achieve that job that you want. But it doesn't depend on you. It depends on how the interviewer saw you, on if you could get to the interview on time, or I don't know if you crashed before, or that infinite amount of factors that are in every decision and everything that comes. So if you don't have control of everything, why would you do anything? So that's one perspective. The other perspective is that we have control of everything, but we don't know that we have control of everything. So this theory also states that everything that happens around us is deeply rooted to the subconscious mind. So if that circumstance come to my life, is because somehow I created the circumstance in my subconscious mind, and it is reflecting on my physical life. And well, actually, now thinking, I come with a third one. And I think that's the one that I would prefer, and that I would state that's the best one to attach for. And it's kind of a balance between both. So, although I think there is something that we have control of, and it's the present moment, this moment that we can control what we do. If I don't know, if I do this or do that or do whatever thing I can do it in the present.
Yes.
But we cannot control the outcome, the future outcome of the action, because there are a lot of infinite amount of external things that impact the outcome. So it is a balance. We should know that we can control some things and other things we cannot control. What do you think about, my friend?
So you, in some sense, gave me predestination. You gave me this universal free will, and then you said, well, there is something in between that we actually look for. And I cannot agree with you more. I agree with you completely.
Thank you.
And I think there is a great theological base for it. If we look for the case of predestination, that rejects the point of free will. And then our listeners, I don't know what they do and what's the point. And in a sense, says that we don't have conscientious mind, right? Because we don't actually make any decisions. We're predestined. We have destination, and we just, sent there. And there is no matter what turn life takes, we will end up there. At the same time, and it ultimately rejects God, right? Because God definitely gave us free will. However, this universal idea of everything is our will, that also doesn't quite make sense, because that's a claim that we are all powerful, and that is a claim to be God, and that ultimately rejects God as well. And in the sense, it is a very selfish belief. It's like, well, I am so good that I can control everything in my life, and so I can make it perfect. And that is very high expectations, right? But to be honest, balance makes a great sense, and it's well, balance can be different though. You can tilt into the point of free will, or you can be tilt into predestination. But I would ultimately suggest that it is much better if you take control of the most things you can. Because if you truly believe that you can control those things and you can make best of it, you better take care of it than just leave it for the luck, for the chance, for the
destiny.
Right? It's like, well, you gamble enough. Take control of the most you can.
Wow. Yeah, I completely agree, my friend. It is incredible because sometimes, well, no, not sometimes, almost always, when you're in the journey, when you're working towards your dreams, when you're doing all that effort and you don't see any results, you don't see this sense of advance, then you feel like, oh my gosh, I cannot control anything in my life. Why am I doing this if the outcome, I cannot control the outcome? But I think that perspective leads to, first, doesn't make you conscious that if you really know what you can control, and if you really do the best out of what you can control, currently you will have a great outcome, or a more desirable outcome, because, a more desirable outcome, whether if you don't do anything and just let life produce the outcome that it wants. Basically, you're giving kind of a shape to your future.
Of course.
And that's beautiful.
And in that sense, we often find ourselves in a position where we would never imagine ourselves to be, and where we would never want ourselves to be, and we're discouraged by that. We feel that we're in such a horrible place or point at our life, and it's like, well, it kind of pushes us to this idea, well, I don't want to do it. I'm such a miserable creature, and that's because life mistreated me. Well, no, it didn't. That's how it goes. No one promised you it's gonna be easy and enjoyable. Sometimes it's such a challenge. It's like, well, go through your suffering nobly. Do the best you can. Do the best you can from this situation. No matter how bad it is, do your best. Life will decide for itself. But you gotta do your best. Your own best.
That's true, my friend.
And that's where luck is born, isn't it?
Actually, yeah.
Because when you maximize your ability and your chance, right? You take the most possible opportunity from your life. Well, one of them will eventually be the lucky one.
Exactly.
And the more opportunities, the bigger the chance, right?
All right, my friend.
Thank you.
In today's episode, we discussed some of the two main theories here about luck. We described how predestination isn't just the way in which we should perceive our actions, because then they won't have any sense. Also, we describe another extremist theory about that we have all control of our outcomes, of our actions, of our decisions, and of our destiny. That's also basically neglecting or not being conscious that we're not this whole power, that we are not that things. And we discovered that, as always, the balance is gonna be the best for us. And the balance is a balance between you have to control and get the best out of what you can control, but also knowing that there are things that you cannot control. But by controlling these actions, maybe one day, as you said, there's gonna be the lucky day, the lucky chance. And the most you make the best out of something, then your chances will increase.
Exactly.